I've had quite a few messages lately about how I stack my beast stand and sticks together and how I climb. So I thought I would just do a video about it and show you guys exactly what I do. This right here is my setup for my beast stand and sticks, minus this leaf right here. I don't use the rod method. I actually just have a couple bungees that I bungee my sticks to the stand, and I just like the low skinny profile of it. I don't really need a shelf for anything. You know, if I'm going to pack something that requires a shelf, I'm probably going to have a frame pack. I also get asked about these straps a lot. These are Kifaru X-ray straps. These aren't made for the beast stand or tree stands. They're like a backpack that Kifaru makes, and you can buy these straps from them, and you just have to hand sew them onto the stand itself. If you don't know how to hand sew, get on YouTube and learn. It's not that hard. So that's what this is. That's what these are, X-ray Kifaru straps. Of course, I got everything still stripped on my beast stand, and got on everything. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I put my initials and the date I got this thing. So I got this from Dan on 6 June of 2021. I'll get to the tree, and typically what I do is, you know, find a nice clear spot to lay my sticks down. With a tree stand, I like to just wear my harness in. Don't ask me why, I just do. This is my saddle here. You can use whatever you want to. But then I just simply take off my straps. When I say straps, I mean these bungee straps. And then with the bungees, this is something that I got from Jason at Traditional Bow Hunting, a Wilderness Podcast. I have this rubber. This is rubber tubing for like a fish tank, and then just stealth strips over the metal so it doesn't make any noise. And then I also cut off the hook a little bit so it's not so hard to get on. You don't really need all that extra metal on that hook. So I cut that off. Sorry for Rosie running around. They are 10-inch straps, and yeah, they're rubber. So that's what I use. Okay, I'm unhooked my sticks here. I have a unique way of stacking them. So I stack them kind of this way to where they're each like stair stepped up. Instead of, you know, the beast sticks do stack like this. It just makes too much noise in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Now Dan's gonna tell you something different. He stacks them, you know, the other way. But all you do is take them and then take the step and then just put it right underneath the other steps, and they stack almost flush like this. Same thing, you just take the other one underneath the steps, and then they're nice and compact and flush. I like it that way. And then I just lay these on the stand. But okay, take them off the stand, and I lay them out here kind of nice and neat. I always use 3 sticks with aiders on them. The beast sticks, they really bite down on the tree really nice, and I just feel comfortable using aiders for my beast sticks. My first stick has an Amstel aider on it, and I use these attachment methods from the Amstel guy. Oh, and then you got to make sure your aider didn't fall off there. But again, take your aider, put it about knee high there, and then you're just going to attach the stick. Doesn't matter what method you use for attaching your stick, whatever you like. And then you'll have a lot of extra strap, and I just kind of get rid of that. These Amstel guy straps come with this bungee, so it was real nice to get things out of the way. Seat those in. Then I'm taking my next stick. I'm doing my Amstel rope here. These are cable aiders. I actually had someone make these for me, but there's a few companies that make them out there. You can do your own research and get your own cable aiders if you want them. Then I'm just simply going up one stick here with a stick in my hand. I kind of eyeball, I don't know, my aider needs to be about waist high there. And this USA rope here, I'm attaching it to the stick. These are really nice. They're you know, I'm not going to tell you they're quite as easy to use as just a cam buckle, but they work pretty good. They're quite a bit lighter though than the cam buckle. And then just seat the stick, get rid of the extra crap. Then I just come on back down the tree. So I never get more than one stick high there. Then my next step is I take my tree stand, throw it on my back here. I dig into my saddle here and get my lineman's belt. Clip that on my bridge, grab my other stick, and I go ahead before I get up there and unwrap it, because I don't want to have to fool with any of this stuff in the air. You could, it's not a big deal whenever you're tied off. Just one less thing I like to mess with. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I just kind of leave this on the ground, because these AM steel things are pretty high, and I just kind of lay that over my bottom step. Now, obviously, if you wanted to get higher, this is not a very good job of this aider, so I would move that stick up a little higher. Okay. I just moved the bungee up a little bit so I could grab my stick. And then when I'm on my first step here, go ahead and strap into the tree. And you know, I don't feel comfortable unless I'm strapped in. So got that strapped in. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this stick, because I don't like the way it's seated, or I don't like how low it is, to be honest with you. So don't be afraid to make adjustments whenever you're up here. Like I've hung probably more sets than almost anybody, and make mistakes, fix them. It ain't no big deal. Just move them up a little bit. Here comes Rosie again. Okay. Got them tightened down here. Get rid of the extra crap that's on your climbing stick. Now we got this aider that's about knee high. That's about perfect. Seat the stick. Let out a little bit of line on your lineman's belt, and then I just simply, you know, you get a good hold. These cable aiders, they're a little easier to use than like an AM steel one or a rope one, in my opinion. And I don't know, I just find that they're a little bit better. And then go right up the tree. And like a lot of people, if you're not comfortable climbing, or you don't like the aiders, I don't blame you. Sometimes they are a pain. I like to have them. Kind of one of those deals where it's better to not need them and have them than not have them and need them. So we got the next step here, and it's like you can be quiet with aiders. You can also be noisy with aiders. So I'm just eyeballing it, taking my strap around here. So, see, this is another disadvantage, and I'm just being honest with you, with these types of methods, is they do take a little more fiddling around up here, whereas with the cam strap, you know, a little bit easier. there's kind of a trade-off on everything. Not that it's, you know, it's not super difficult. You just saw me adjust right there. It's not like it was a big, huge hassle or anything, but it is something you got to think about. Okay. Put them on the button. Tighten them down. Seat them. Get rid of the excess crap. Okay. So now, you know, that's not too bad there. We're going to go up again. Move the lineman's belt up. You know, I could have got another foot out of this, but we're not going to worry about it. We got everything good. Okay. So something that's real important is after you get on your step here, I like to move my lineman's belt up kind of as high as I can here without it slipping down. So I like it to be real high, and there's a reason for that. So you take then I take my stand off my back, and my strap here, I kind of just tie it up out of the way. Untie your strap, loosen it up. I leave my stand pretty much folded up the whole time. I reach around. I always take my buckle away from me and around the tree, because I like to be able to use my hands right in front of me with my buckle strap here. And then I just put my buckle on and pull the strap as tight as I can. I kind of eyeball, everything's flat, and I just take the seat and give it a good push, and then push it down. And at this particular moment, the way it's laying right now is fine, but if I needed to change the pitch of my stand, I would do that right now. But everything looks good. Double check to make sure these are tight. I have in the past, it wasn't on a B stand, it was on a stand very similar to this, that I had them loose and the thing like fell down on me and it scared the crap out of me. This little the access strap, I always wrap that up and kind of get it out of the way just so it's not floating around everywhere. Okay, so then my lineman's belt above the stand. Do not strap your lineman's belt into the stand on accident. I go up, make sure you're connected to the tree with your lineman's belt. Lift the stand up, and I actually just put a little pressure right at the seat post, just like that, just a little bit. Then I hop into the stand. That little bit of pressure, what that does is it kind of seats the stand even tighter. And now up here, my teeth on this stand are locked in solid. I think I got 4 teeth in the tree right now. You don't need to cam it over or tow hook it or any of that crap. That's all you need to do. Now with my saddle, now this is new to me here, so I've been thinking about running it as a kind of a hybrid system. So what I'm doing, and I've actually watched my dad do this, which is what gave me one of the ideas. A lot of people do this. I know this, he's not the first person to do this, but taking my belt here, or my tether, putting it at head high or however high you want to put it at, and going ahead and strapping in. So I'm connected to the tree, taking off my lineman's belt, and my belt goes into my dump pouch out of the way. At this moment in time, I would have my bow rope, pull my bow up, and be done with it. But now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my prusik knot here and just run it loose until I can kind of comfortably set down. Then, go ahead and just tighten it up a little bit. And that allows me to shoot wherever I want to. And then let's say like I want to run it as a saddle, I would just have to turn around and adjust my prusik up a little bit. And then you're running your saddle like this then. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do from now on when I run my stand. Just go ahead and wear my saddle. Okay, so I know the other day when I did this video about my actual saddle setup, I was seeing how high I got. So let's see how high I am up here in this here B stand with 3 B sticks and a few aiders. I feel like I'm about the same height as my other setup here. 18 feet to my chest here, so yeah, that's high enough for me. I don't really need to get any higher than that. You know, if I do need to get higher than that, just bring an extra stick with me. And I could have probably squeezed another foot out of those, especially if I wasn't in this here pair of coveralls, but it is what it is. I'm in coveralls. So that's how I would get up in the stand. A lot of people ask about how I use like a bowl holder. My camera arm has a bowl holder on the end of it. So it's something Dan made me. I guess, I don't know, they make ones that go on your actual stand itself. Also, if you're gonna run it like a, you know, like a saddle, you can just use your gear straps, which is probably what I'll do from now on. Okay, so now let's say I'm done hunting, take my bow off, let it down. I'd put my rope in my pouch, or tie it off into my pouch here so I don't drop my bow. And then we're gonna just go ahead and reverse everything. Grab your lineman's belt, round the tree with it, strap in. I tighten her up, make sure we're tight. Then I'm going to take off my tether. Tether's going to go into my duck pouch. I put my seat up just like this. That's another thing I thought about doing was putting a pad on the back of my beast stand here so I could just kind of lean into it with my knees if I'm saddle hunting. Just haven't got around doing that yet. And then down the tree we go. So I get down, I put my seat back down just so I have something kind of to hold on to. Okay, and then when we're at this point, tighten your lineman's belt so everything's good. And I also just like visually check things all the time when I'm up here. Like before I did that, I didn't talk to you about it, but I visually looked at my Kong duck cinder, and I looked at my my carabiner to make sure everything was good. So if you guys have bought a beast stand lately, they come with the smaller buckles. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. I have the bigger one on this one still because there's a little more leverage on the bigger buckles. Makes it a little easier to take them off. But when it gets cold and stuff, sometimes it's hard for your hands to push that button in. You just got to lift your seat up or your platform up, and then just take your post and pull it up a little bit, and that will actually loosen that strap a lot, and then you can just simply take it off. A couple things you can do here. You know, this stand doesn't even weigh 7 pounds. So you could just, you know, put it all together and then put it on your back and go down the tree. You know, these things aren't going to break. They shouldn't break. I take my strap, especially, you know, if you don't want to make noise, don't do this, but I just take my stand and I just kind of drop it out of the way. Makes a lot of noise, but if you're not coming back, who cares, right? If you are, I wouldn't do that. I'd put it together and put it on my back. Then we're just going to go down the tree. Make sure your aider is secure on the tree, or your foot rather. And I go all the way down to the bottom of my second stick. Undo all my straps on my third stick. And I take my cable aiders, put them above my button. I take off my strap, put them over the button so that they can't come out, and then I just wrap my stuff up here. Okay, now take my stick and I just drop it down too. Just avoid hitting your stand because that makes a lot of noise. Okay, loosen up my lineman's belt a little bit. I grab a hold of my top stick, take your foot into the tree. Early season with them aiders, I like the longer ones. I think I'm going to get some shorter ones though, because that's kind of a stretch for me. But we made her. I know people are going to ask me about these attachments methods. I don't know if I want to make a video about how to use them and stuff, because I don't want to, I don't know, they're not super complicated, but they're also not super easy, so I don't really want to. Just look at the Amstel guys stuff if you want to know how to use them. Then we're going to wrap with a second stiff cup. Okay, and then drop it down. Now I get down to my bottom stick here. Get rid of my lineman's belt. And like I said, I don't typically use my aider on the last one. I just kind of hop down, take off my final stick. Everything's freaking muddy. Now we are all back together and out off the tree. Okay. First thing I'm going to do, get rid of my lineman's belt here, fix my mic because I bet that's annoying. Get rid of my lineman's belt, put it in my pocket. Make sure it's all tucked away. Okay. Then just collect my sticks. Put the 3 of them right back together here. My stand. A couple unique things about this. You can see on the thing here, I have some stealth strips wrapped around my bracket here, and I go up and around this the bottom bracket back down, and then I just take my loop, put it around that beast bracket there, and then tighten it down. You don't have to get it super tight. Wrap my my access, that's not right, excess strap, get it out of the way. Lay the stand down flat. Take your sticks that you have together, get rid of all the leaves you collected, and I just lay them flat against the tree. Let me adjust the camera here so you guys can see this a little bit better. So I take my sticks after I got them all put together, and I just lay them straight flat against the back of the stand. And the beast sticks actually are small enough that they stay inside of the stand itself. So your profile of your sticks should be smaller than your stand, which I really like. Then just take my 10-inch bungees. I just kind of, I probably do this different every time, but pick a hole and I crisscross them. So I make an X with my, what's wrong, Miss Rosie? I make an X with my bungees, and that's it. We're back together. Then back on my back here and back to the truck, and that's kind of all there is to it. I did bring my bow scale to see what this setup weighs, so let's weigh it real quick here. Again, with the stand, you got to include a safety harness or your saddle, whatever you're using, to get an actual weight of everything you got to bring in, if you're going to compare it to a saddle at least. It feels pretty light. I don't know what we're going to be at. Okay, let's tear it off here. 0. So 21.98 pounds. So essentially 22 pounds. There you go. If you don't believe me, I don't know if you can see that or not, but almost 22 pounds. You know what, guys? If you like this video, you should watch this one right here. YouTube thinks it's really good. If you want to subscribe, hit that button right there.